Let's go. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. At this time, we'd like to ask Councilman AB to lead us in the pledge and Councilman Carls to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Say again?
Prayer. Sorry, I'd like to ask Councilman Rubin to lead us in the prayer, Councilman Carlson to lead us in the pledge. Sorry to mask up.
Dear Lord, we come to you on this evening. We give you all the praise and glory, Father. Father, we want to thank you for allowing us all to be able to join together once again as one big happy family. Father, as we go through the meeting today, let us have open mind, open hearts, and be able to do the things that you would like for us to do to make your community better, because this is not our community, Father. Thank you for allowing us to lead your community. And we ask you this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Rubin, and thank you, Councilman Carlson. Appreciate it. We welcome you to the Parish Council meeting. As presiding officer and chair, I'd like to announce the following. This is a public hearing. To address the council on any item on this agenda, please fill out the speaker form and submit it to the clerk prior to the call of the agenda item, or you will not be given an opportunity to speak. Staff assistance is available if needed. Items for submission to the council should be handled to our council clerk, Ms. Veronica Williams, who's seated all the way to my left. When addressing the council, state your name and title for the official record. There's a 5-minute rule that will be in effect. No debating, confrontational statements, or profanity will be allowed. The front row to my left is for media only. Food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium. We ask that you please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Meeting procedures are by resolution, not by Robert's Rules of Order. All documents to tonight's meeting can be found on the website at LCG. And finally, the council encourages your involvement in boards or commissions. If you're interested, please call 291-8800. Moving to chair announcements. Due to election day requirements, the council meetings for November and December will be on the first and third Wednesday of each month instead of the typical first and third Tuesdays. As per state law, the millages will be read in full. There will be quite a few. Item number 6, PR-13-2020, courthouse priority. The priority numbers were incorrectly transposed. The resolution should be amended to read that the request is to move the project from the lower priority 5 up to the more important priority 1 status. Again, that is that courthouse project that we were talking about, moving it to priority 1. Item number 32, Parish Ordinance 64-2020, intro ordinance / year-end adjustments. Finance is requesting an amendment to include adjusted budget tables to add $150,000 in order to pay additional invoices for the housing of juveniles out of the parish for the remainder of the year. Announcement. Verbal announcement of notice of intent. On November 4th, 2020, at 5 p.m. at 705 West University Avenue, Lafayette, Louisiana, 70506. The governing authority of the parish of Lafayette will consider a resolution calling for an election with regards to levying of a sales tax and use tax. I don't have any other chair announcements. Any council announcements? Councilman Rubin, you have the floor.
Okay, how you guys doing this evening? I know we have a lot of things going on in our community that people are discussing right now, but I just want to bring awareness to, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I would like for everyone to keep that in mind and get your tatas checked, ladies. You know, and it's not just for ladies, men also catch breast cancer as well. So take heed, catch it early, it can be prevented. We can survive from it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, that's why I got my pink on.
All right. Okay. We move to, not seeing any other council announcements, we move to Executive Mayor President's report. At this time, I'd like to recognize Mayor President Guillory.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mayor President Guillory, if you don't mind, just I want to make the same announcements for those who are just joining us or tuning in from home, that the joint meeting, the next meeting is a joint city council and parish council meeting. That meeting is canceled because we will not have a quorum of the city council available to attend. And the city council meeting immediately following that meeting is also canceled. And all items for both meetings will be scheduled for the October 20th meeting.
Okay. All right, Ms. President Guillory, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have a budget to actual, we have the budget to actual comparison of major parish funds for August 2020 preliminary. Director Toops has submitted for the council for your review. If you have any questions, she is available for those.
Okay.
And then also, Mr. Chair,
Yep.
not seeing any questions, we do have two proclamations that we would like to issue. One is in regards to domestic violence awareness.
Okay.
And I would like to call Ms. Nicole Cockerham, did I say it correctly? Yes. All right, she is with the Faith House, who does a lot of good for our community. And if you wouldn't mind coming up, ladies, thank y'all. So whereas domestic violence is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ages, gender, and income levels. And whereas 2020 is the year that has changed the face of domestic violence due to COVID and record unemployment levels, domestic violence has greatly increased along with homicides. And whereas 1 in 3 Americans have witnessed an incident of domestic violence and millions experience it each year, and whereas children that grow up in a violent home are believed to be abused and neglected at a rate higher than the national average, and whereas a coordinated community effort with local agencies such as Faith House and our local government will put a stop to this heinous crime, and whereas the City of Lafayette and Parish of Lafayette are committed to helping to prevent domestic violence and helping to continue services supported throughout the Acadiana area by Faith House. Whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity for citizens to learn more about preventing domestic violence and to show support for the numerous organizations and individuals which provide critical advocacy, services, and assistance to victims. Now, therefore, I, Josh Guillory, Lafayette Mayor President, in recognition of the important work done by Faith House and all domestic violence programs in our community, do hereby proclaim October 2020 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we urge all citizens to actively work towards the elimination of personal and institutional violence against women and children. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the office of the Mayor President to be affixed this 6th day of October in the year of our Lord 2020. So thank you.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor President Guillory, council members, for proclaiming October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. My name is Roxanne Morton, and I am the Education and Awareness Chairperson for Voices of Acadiana. We are a volunteer membership group comprised solely of survivors of domestic violence. Voices of Acadiana was formed through a partnership with Faith House of Acadiana and the Family Justice Center of Acadiana. Several of our community partners are here with us tonight, including members of law enforcement, members from the District Attorney's Office, elected leaders, and anyone who is an activist and a supporter of our cause. I was finally able to escape a 30-year abusive marriage in November of 2017. Sadly, leaving did not end the abuse. He stalked me relentlessly and in a recording from jail, threatened to kill me once he was released. He pled guilty to 7 felonies and 15 misdemeanors. He spent a year in jail and is still being monitored by an ankle monitoring device. Unfortunately, COVID-19 restrictions have only increased incidents of domestic violence. When comparing domestic violence numbers from March 1st, 2019 through August 31st, 2019 to the numbers from those same dates in 2020, there is a 70% increase in the numbers of people that Faith House is providing services to in the Acadiana area. This number includes both adults and children. Since March, Faith House is interacting with an average of 440 people each month. This number encompasses all people receiving services, including 167 new adults and 95 new children experiencing domestic violence. No one deserves to live in fear. No one, especially our children. We ask the leaders and citizens of Lafayette Parish to join us in wearing purple on Wednesdays during the month of October to bring awareness to the issue of domestic violence and create a network of support for survivors. You can visit Faith House's website for more information. Together, we can make a difference and save the lives of those experiencing abuse in their homes. Thank you for your time.
Hold on. Thank you. Does that complete your announcements, Mr. Mayor President, or no?
Proclamation was supposed to be on the city council meeting, but due to the dates that it's associated with your permission, I'd like to
Sure.
issue, okay. And this is in regards to Fire Prevention Week. We have Chief Benoit with us, who has served our city for decades now, and we're better. I know I am better as a person and as a mayor president because of Chief Benoit, so thank you. What'd you say? Well, I thought I'd accurately stated for you, sir. Councilman Tabor said I was calling you old. That's not true. Experienced. Whereas the Parish of Lafayette is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting Lafayette. And whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the location where people are at greatest risk from fire. And whereas home fires killed more than 2,870 people in the United States in 2019, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to 361,500 home fires. And whereas cooking is the leading cause of home fires in the United States, where fire departments responded to more than 172,900 annually between 2014 and 2018. And whereas 2 of every 5 home fires start in the kitchen, with 31% of these fires resulting from unattended cooking. And whereas the 2020 Fire Prevention Week theme, Serve Up Fire, Safety in the Kitchen, effectively serves to remind us to stay alert and use caution when cooking to reduce the risk of kitchen fires. And now, therefore, I, Josh Guillory, Lafayette Mayor President, do hereby proclaim the week of October 4th through 10th, 2020 as Fire Prevention Week. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the office of Mayor President to be affixed the 6th day of October in the year of our Lord 2020. Want to say anything, Chief?
Just want to say that we were going to have a fire prevention activity this Saturday, but I think the storm may mess that up. We're not quite sure yet. And if it does, then we're going to reschedule. It just was going to be a drive-by for kids to come by and eat some pizza, look at the fire trucks and the fire safety house. And I think we have a small video that the guys put together that kind of sums it all together on why we're encouraging fire prevention activities as far as for kitchen fires, because those are the majority of the fires that we see.
My name is Inspector David Senegal with the City of Lafayette Fire Department, and I'm with Sparky in his kitchen on today, and he's serving up fire safety in the kitchen. He's cooking some of that good old Louisiana gumbo. Did you know that almost half of reported home fires start in the kitchen? For that reason, we want to teach you 3 fire safety tips. The first one is never, ever leave food unattended in the kitchen. Stay in the kitchen with your food. And the second thing is, and I see Sparky's already observing it, always turn your pot handles toward the back. That way no child can come and grab the handle and pull it down and put the hot food on themselves or on the floor. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you have 3 feet in front and on both sides of the stove that you can have a safety zone. This can also be used as a kid zone. Make sure you don't put anything in this area that can touch the stove and catch on fire. We're serving up fire safety in the kitchen while Sparky's cooking that Louisiana gumbo. Take it away, Sparky.
Some cooking in the kitchen smells pretty good. I said I'm cooking in the kitchen, smells pretty good. Some cooking in the kitchen smells pretty good. Some cooking in the kitchen smells pretty good. You want?
Definitely like the music. Keith Frank in the house. Yeah. Swallow, baby, swallow. Swallow, Louisiana. It's a good friend of mine. What's that? Oh, no. Where's your mask? Hold on. You hit the button. You want to talk?
Let me ask you a question, Chief. Once again, doing a fabulous job. I know y'all do like the little smokehouse everywhere you go. My kids, them love them. You know, she's 16 and she still want to go in the smokehouse. Don't put your head down. My question to you is, when you have fires, have you found statistics where kids who've been through the smokehouse, who survived fires because they've been through the smokehouse training? Have y'all found any situations
Yeah,
like that?
That's pretty much why we teach the kids, because the kids go back home and teach the adults. And if you want to come to the fire safety house, I'll bring you in there as well. But for the most part, that's why we do it, because the kids will remember that. And one of the things that we want to make sure they understand is that when they wake up during the nighttime hours and everything's full of smoke, we don't want them just to jump up and run out. We want them to crawl and make their way out. And so we teach them those safety tips. They go back home and teach the parents. And then we encourage them to have a fire safety drill in the home at least once a month, so that way you can get out and stay out. Because the majority of the times, they get out, but they forget something, and they want to go back in and get it. And 99% of the time, if you go back in, you're not going to come out. And so the kid goes back in, the parent goes back in, and you have two people dead in the house. So the kids are the ones that teaches us and remind us that fire safety is something that they understand and that we should follow through and not be complacent.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you, Chief. Good video. Sparky's cool. Let me know when he's cooking at the fire station.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you, Chief Benoit, for everything, and thank you, Mr. Chair,
All
City
right.
Council. That will conclude my report.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, we'll now move to comments from the public on any other matters that is not on this agenda. That's the key word, not on this agenda. Ms. Williams, for public comments, can you please read the announcements? Or you would like for me?
I could read it.
Okay.
This is the time to speak about topics relative to the Parish of Lafayette that are not included as agenda items. No debating or confrontational statements will be allowed. For efficiency and to allow everyone the opportunity to speak, questions should be submitted in writing to the clerk of the council. We have many waiting for tonight's meeting, so you are reminded the 5-minute rule will be in effect.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Can you please call the first speaker?
First speaker, Stephanie Skinner Touchette, followed by Devon Norman. Anyone?
Okay. Hi. I have some questions tonight and some things to say. First thing I want to talk about is I wanted the domestic violence. It's the government's fault that that's happening because of this COVID lockdown. It's very unconstitutional, this lockdown and taking up people's businesses and telling them when they can open and when they can't open. And they've wreaked havoc on America. They're petty tyrants, a lot of them. And we know that the CDC, they're proven liars, and they've wishy-wash on all kinds of information that they tell the public. And we have a constitution in this country, and it's unconstitutional, and the Constitution doesn't say anything about a mask mandate for any kind of illness or any kind of medical emergency. And the Constitution doesn't say anything about taking people's businesses and tell them when they can open and when they can close, and which businesses are essential and which businesses aren't. And it's a travesty, and it needs to stop. And we locally can, you know, our sheriff and everything, we don't have to follow the orders of this governor because it's unconstitutional. So we can gather as a community with our sheriff because we're elected and they're elected. They're very important to us, our sheriffs. And they uphold an oath to the Constitution. And the government and this governor and all the people that are enforcing these lockdowns, it's unconstitutional. It's against the law, and they call us rebels for being upset about it peacefully. Well, they're rebellious against the Constitution, and they upheld an oath too. But it's terrible that this is happening. So I had wanted to mention that. And according to their own OSHA rules, you're not allowed to tell somebody what to do or what to wear and deprive my oxygen. We're not getting fresh air in these masks, people. You know, I mean, they don't even work. I heard that they protect the wearer, and then another thing is, well, we need to quarantine for this, we need to quarantine for that. People don't quarantine for the flu. Years ago when I had the flu, the day I didn't have fever, I was expected back at work. You know what I'm saying? So you don't quarantine. People are smart enough to know to stay home if they don't feel good. We don't need to be told what to do by dictatorial governors and unconstitutional governors. And we're paying their check and our tax money, and they're locking us down. And it's just unconstitutional. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is I happened upon that protest over there at Park San Souci, and I was on Saturday, and I was driving by and I saw a bunch of police on every corner, heavily armed. So I was like, what's going on? And they said, well, they're having a protest. So I parked and I went, and y'all, I saw these drones in the sky. I don't like those. They're very unconstitutional. Who pays for those drones? Is that the police or the sheriff? Who pays for that? That's an invasion of privacy. That's unconstitutional. Where's the room with the cameras where they're watching the drone? Who's remote controlling the drone? Is it a digital remote control? What are those things? And it was a peaceful protest. People aren't doing anything wrong. Why do you have police on every single corner and all these drones? We're paying the government to be spied on unconstitutionally with the only eyes we do not need on us are God. I mean, that was a very peaceful protest. I didn't see any tearing down of statues or anything like that. I didn't see, everybody was calm. And it's our constitutional right to have weapons, you know? And so, and another thing, they needed a permit. What's a permit? How much does it pay to talk? How much does it cost to talk up there on that pub? We pay for it with our tax money. The public park, the public place, we pay for it.
Ma'am, address us, please.
Oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, but I want the TV to see me too, sir.
Oh, they got the camera on you right now.
Oh, okay.
They have a drone in here
Well,
watching you right now.
But what about that? No, you just took up my time. I asked for 5 more seconds. Well, now, what I want to say is, what about that? How much does it cost? Tell me right now to talk. I mean, how much does it talk? Did they have to pay? Say yes or no. Answer me, please. If I want to go up there and talk, I have to pay y'all to go up there and talk?
Where's y'all? What place you talking about?
Park San Souci or any public place.
Okay, when I had my Pancreatic Cancer Foundation event, I had to take a permit downtown to have an event there.
We shouldn't have to pay to talk, sir.
It's not talking, it was an event, it's a function. Okay, your 5 minutes is up. Thank you, though, appreciate it.
Next speaker is Devon Norman, followed by Jamal Taylor.
Oh, Jesus. Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to start off where she ended. How much does it pay to talk? How much does it cost to talk? Well, for over 400 years, it's cost the lives of my people. For over 400 years, it's cost the freedom of my people. For over 400 years, for us to redress our government, the government that stole us, stole this land, and is now trying to steal the rights of the people, which I would have to agree with. And you know, it's funny how sometimes you would almost believe that you don't have anything in common with somebody until they start talking about the rights of the people. The rights of the people. The rights of the people which have been infringed upon by the sheriff's office in Lafayette Parish. The rights of the people which have been infringed upon by the mayor's office already in this city in his term. The rights of the people which have been infringed upon by the Lafayette Police Department. The right to live by the people in the city of Lafayette and in the parish of Lafayette have been infringed upon in this city in this year, 2020. And even in this year, the audacity for us to have to sit in this room and have this discussion, and yes, I'd like to talk about the drones, because even in this last protest that we did have, when drones, 10 minutes before there was a disruption, which is a so-called misfire of a weapon, they made it a no-fly zone. So the people that were with us that had drones had to come down from the area 10 minutes prior to the disruption that happened. And so when we talk about why we have to get a permit to do certain things, I just make this very clear. We don't get permits to redress the government. We don't need permission to redress our government. So I'd be very clear and say this, that it was not the village who got the permit, and we will not have to get a permit to redress the government. As a matter of fact, we will continue to do so. I don't have to sit here and continue to tell you what you have to do in order to fix this problem. You know what you have to do. As a matter of fact, you've known for a long time what you've had to do. And if you got in this position and you didn't know what was going on in the city of Lafayette or in the parish of Lafayette, Louisiana, when it comes to race and race relations with the police departments, with the parish department, and also with the state of Louisiana, you know what's going down in this state. And at the end of the day, the people are not going to have it. And I've told you this several times before, when it was just me and a few others coming to this city council meeting. Now every single time you see new faces. And it will continue to grow. And if we have to, we will have a party outside of these doors every single time. We will barbecue, and if you stop us from barbecuing, we'll bring food. If you stop us from doing that, we will find every single reason for the people to get here. Oh, and by the way, don't think that we didn't notice you suppressing the vote on Saturday either. When people were not able to easily access the area around the parking lot. Don't tell me it was for my safety, because it was not. Because you had snipers on the roofs of the building as if, like she said, somebody was there to do us some harm. Or somebody was there to do anybody else that was not us harm. Because we didn't know about those snipers on the building. So at the end of the day, you can't tell me it was for my protection. You knew it was a peaceful protest because the people that did plan the protest part of the event, they were in coordination with you. So you can't say that you didn't think that you thought for any reason they were hostile. You also cannot tell me that you thought that there was an opposing militia group that would come that you thought was hostile, because we saw people that are hired by the Lafayette police, by the city of Lafayette, and people that are hired by the sheriff's office mingling with those in the Cajun militia and 3%ers and groups that are considered terrorist organizations in the United States of America. This happened in the city of Lafayette on Saturday. Tonight you will hear about other incidences that happened from the government. So you want to talk about what's going down in the city of Lafayette? For too long I've told you that God would not be mocked. So let's, for a little bit, for my last few moments, I'll use my privilege to get political. Many of you support the President of the United States and you support his re-election. But he has made a mockery of this country. He told you that COVID-19 was not real, or that it was a democratic hoax, while at the same time letting people know on the back and behind closed doors that it was real. Then all of a sudden he got sick with it, made a mockery of the people, and then got out of the hospital and exposed people that are paid by this country, and then went on the balcony of the White House and spewed out the venom just like this country is doing to the rest of black people. Thank you for your time.
Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Jamal Taylor, followed by Jock Miller.
That was good, and I get to follow him. I'm so thankful. Yeah, good job, Define. God is just interesting in the way that he does stuff, because I was not going to speak this time, and then Councilman Rubin called my name. And so what I will first say is, thank you for your context for the mayor president. I don't agree at all. However, you're entitled to your opinion, as we are all entitled to a vote. All right. I would have to agree with my young brother that went before me that we wasted city money engaging in putting up roadblocks in a way to stifle people's access to even drop off food to a voter registration drive. But we're fixing the problems. Or that I saw a seasoned officer pick up a bullet with his bare hands from a misfire, as if that's proper protocol for dealing with evidence, but we're fixing the problem. Or the fact that this 8 Can't Wait press release that went out in an attempt to pull the wool over people's eyes had been discussed for some time, and number 4 specifically said to empty the bag first, use the dog, use the billy club, yet Trayford Pellerin was shot in the back 10 times. But we're fixing it. Or the fact that I saw a grown man push a young child, continue to ram him in the door, and then punch him in the head. But we're fixing it. My grandmother used to say, and I respected her a whole bunch, rest her soul, when you start smelling yourself, people been smelling you a long time. Folks, something stinks in Lafayette. Something stinks in Lafayette. So, Council Rubin, with all due respect, I disagree with your assessment, and I truly don't appreciate you running interference for a mayor president that I don't necessarily believe represents my best interests well. But again, you're entitled. You sit in that seat. I will additionally say I thought that it's strange that people had to fight through police that weren't necessarily nice or friendly or welcoming, standing there with rifles coming to a voter registration piece of this event. Voter suppression? Probably. I also found it strange that I saw a picture of the chief of police standing with the Cajun militia. I mean, I don't know if that's fixing it, but I certainly don't think so. But every time we come to this council, we find the same blank stares that don't do anything. I think y'all should vote to separate. Y'all should have your own mayor, parish president. We should have our own mayor, because I think that this parish government, particularly this legislative branch of the parish government, is a complete and total waste of time. You stop people from speaking at a meeting before. We've let our sheriff run amok and put snipers on the roof at friendly events and peaceful events. Folks, we've worked really hard at being extremely peaceful. I have talked to people quite a bit about being peaceful. So I wonder what we think happens when we continue to trample on the rights of people, when they operate in good faith, and this government, the 5 of you and this guy, don't do well by the people in this city. I don't know what to say except for I'm disgusted. Who cares though, right? Y'all live in the unincorporated, represent that unincorporated area of the parish that, quite frankly, are many of the people that I see making those nasty comments on Facebook, on KATC and KLFY, because I go and click them, I go and look. Perhaps you all should focus and spend some time and money and energy on go and have some community meetings about the real meaning of racism and privilege, because it is certainly something that we use freely in this room. I feel the same way that side. That's how I feel every time I see y'all. I sigh very deeply and think to myself, what a world we live in, where somebody would breathe hard and sigh deeply when somebody's talking about racism, as if it doesn't exist, Councilman Carlson. Disappointing. You should go first in having that meeting. Folks, do better. Do better.
Of the 8 remaining speakers, we have Jacques Miller and then Tara Fogelman.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
See, about 2 weeks ago, in a little town called Louisville, Kentucky, we found a family that did not get justice. And why is this important to me, you may ask? Because this person, Breonna Taylor, was an EMT at once. 2 of my nieces, one that's already been through high school, went through the EMT training program. Now she's a full-time mother. I have another niece in Hot Springs, Arkansas, in the EMT program at the high school over there. And I'm happy to say that she is considering coming to here to Lafayette to go to the EMT Academy. That makes an uncle very proud. So I hope that made sense. And the other thing I wanted to mention tonight is the importance of voting. In about 3 weeks, we'll be voting for president all the way down to Justice of the Peace if you're in the unincorporated portions of the parish. And Mr. Carlson fought very hard for the east side of the parish, and Mr. Lewis and Mr. Lazard fought very hard for the western and northern part of the parish to have 2 very nice, that we don't have to fight with the downtown early voting sites, and that'll be open, I believe, early voting starts the 16th. So, as Mr. Tabor once said, the city and the parish needs to see a return on its investment, and I implore everyone to show them that their fight to have extra voting sites was in the parish's best interest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, Tara Fogelman, followed by Jalen Mouton.
Tara Fogelman, Laxey, Unity 7. Real quick, before I get to Saturday, let's talk about the Friday whenever I went to the city police department. I spoke to a lieutenant over there after we got the maps of the gun-free zones. Bring it to the attention to the city police department that on September 1st, when the Cajun militia was outside with huge artillery weapons walking back and forth while our meeting was going on here and our community was barbecuing, I brought to the police, the lieutenant's attention that Cajun militia was in a gun-free zone, while our city police department, I call it friendly bop. Y'all know what friendly bop is? When you try to be extra friendly to somebody who's not deserving of you being friendly to them. So, city police was friendly bopping on September 1st with the Cajun militia while they were in a gun-free zone. The lieutenant told me that he couldn't do anything about it, even though I had pictures and proof and faces and pictures, including Michael McComb, who they call Sauce, the leader of Cajun Militia, who is a felon carrying a gun in front of City Hall. He said because there wasn't any signages up, they couldn't do anything, and that the police department didn't know the exact footage of what the gun-free zone was. Another example of how the city police department needs to be trained, because if you can't determine the sidewalk and approximately how many feet from the sidewalk to City Hall, that's less than 1,000 feet in a gun-free zone. The same militia Saturday was present heavily downtown as my community was barricaded in. We weren't allowed to be able to pull up, drop off cases of water, drop off any type of resources. We had to walk it to Park Saint-Louis. The police would not let us in. Voter suppression. Many people wanted to come and register to vote. The police were denying them entry past the barricades. This is something that actually happened in Lafayette in 2020, refusing to let people pass the barricades to come into the park area so they could register to vote. Snipers on the roof of Iberia Bank, the parking garage. Who approved that? Was that the sheriff, Josh? I mean, because you worked with, in fact, and the NAACP in the process of the march or the parade. Did you know that there were going to be snipers? Was that the sheriff or was that the Cajun militia? Who, really, it is the same difference, isn't it? We're barricaded in, surrounded by tall buildings. You have your sheriff officers in plain clothes to where we couldn't even identify who was there for us or who was against us, because they look just like the Cajun militia. You had the interim chief of police talking on the side of Don's with 3 other city police officers and smiling and talking, having conversation with the Cajun militia, one of the guys. But never once did any of the city police officers or the interim chief of police cross the street to come talk to any of the organizers who were just simply having a voter registration event. See, pick and choose who they want to associate with. Pick and choose who they want to help. We have enough of that. And one more thing, just if y'all can nod your heads, have y'all ever been downtown to any festival or Mardi Gras where they had a cook-off or cooking outside? Have any of y'all? Well then, let me tell you, Carlos Harvin said that it was illegal for us to cook downtown with an open flame for our event. Did y'all know that? Who told him to say that? Because you see, we were going to barbecue on a trailer to be able, because everybody likes food. People usually come outside when you barbecue and it starts conversation. Most people do. But anyway, so we were blocked. We couldn't even do that for our community because Carlos Harvin said you can't have an open flame cooking downtown. So guess what we're going to do next time y'all have a festival downtown? We're going to protest, and we're going to make a stink, and we're going to dial 911 and tell you that they're breaking the law.
Okay.
Next speaker is Jalen Mouton. Jalen Mouton, followed by Keith Falk.
How are we doing this evening? This evening, I want to speak about what transpired Saturday. Every time I come to a city council meeting, parish council meeting, whatever, I think about my 3 kids at home. You understand what I'm saying? Just like everybody else has up in here. That's why I'm fighting. That's why I'm really fighting. See what transpired Saturday? It was really uncalled for. It was peaceful. First of all, it started off with voter registration. You understand me? It started off with voter registration. Well, we had people who wanted to come out and vote, but they could not come out and vote. Why? Because it was suppressed at the front gate, which is a shame because we are trying to do the right thing. We want to do the right thing. We want equity, we want equality, but we're not getting that. We've been coming here trying to express our feelings to people and let Lafayette know that that's all we want. Everything has been peaceful so far. But once you keep poking a bear, a hibernating bear, he finally wakes up and he attacks. It's not any threats or anything, but it's a promise that this community, our black community, we will stand and we will fight back for injustices. We will. And that is a promise, because enough is enough. What happened Saturday, if my kids were out there, I guarantee you I was going to find some way to file federal charges against every single person out there that was opposing us, against us, because we were peaceful at the end of the day. Yes, we had guns. That's our Second Amendment right, constitutional right. Whether you're white, black, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. I'm very upset with the city of Lafayette, a place where I'm born and raised. I'm proud to say I'm from here, but as I feel the energy in the room, I don't feel love from the people that's supposed to protect us. You understand what I'm saying? If a sheriff, a policeman, whatever, was to play with my kids, it was going to be hell to pay. And yes, I'm small, and you may be looking at me like who he is, but I'm a very powerful being because I have a free mind. And that's something that you cannot take away from us. No matter what you try to do, no matter what little games you try to play with us, it's not going to happen. So from this day forward, this is going to be my last meeting that I'm coming to. You won't see me anymore. You're going to see me in the streets getting my community together to fight back against these devilish acts. You understand what I'm saying? We call ourselves Christians and we read the Bible. But that's a shame. You understand what I'm saying? Because ultimately, we are all children of Christ. And once you start looking at a person because of a hairstyle, because of a culture, because of skin color, you're no good. That's a no good spirit. No good spirit. And everybody that's sitting right here, the Village, Unity 7, Black Panthers, we have that energy, that positive energy to make a change and to stop all of this negativity. Do you really think, honestly, ask yourself this, little children that play black or white, Hispanic, whatever, do you think that they know what color is? Ask yourself that. They go home and they are taught this, to hate another person. They are taught this. A little kid doesn't know anything about that. So that's where it begins, in the home. You understand what I'm saying? So in closing, I will say this, and I will say this once again. You're going to see the black community on the north side come together and fight till we can't fight anymore. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Keith Falk, followed by Jamal Montgomery.
Good afternoon, Parish Council.
Good afternoon.
My name is Keith Falk. I'm a concerned community activist. Mr. Not King.
Yes, sir.
I want you to rectify something for me.
Mm-hmm.
If a change is to be made to the home rule charter, does both councils have to approve that change?
If it affects, from my understanding, we'll let legal chime in, if it affects the city only, like you want your chief of police, right? Which I got to be honest with you. I think the city of Lafayette should have elected chief of police because every other municipality has that. But if that's the change you want, it's my understanding you're going to have to go through the city council.
Okay.
It's my understanding. I could be wrong. No? It's got to come to both?
Because for my understanding...
Well, I'm going to clarify for you. Stop his time because I don't want to mess him up.
I'm just trying to find the number.
I hear you. I tell you what, if you want to go on, he'll find it and we'll get the answer.
Okay, because from my understanding, both councils would have to approve the change to bring the Charter Commission back together.
Oh, to bring the charter commission back. Are
Yeah.
you
That's,
asking?
that's the only way you can process changes through the charter.
You can do it as a council.
Without a population change under the Louisiana State Constitution, the only change that can be made by ordinance is if we have a population change. That's the only way you can, make amendment to the Home Rule Charter. Other than that, it's got to go to a vote of the people.
Yeah, well, anytime you change the charter, you're going to have to go to the vote of the people.
Yeah, but y'all didn't do that. Y'all didn't do that.
What you mean?
Well, not y'all. The former council didn't do that. The former council did not have a vote to the people, and they made changes to the charter.
No, it went to the vote of the people.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
They had mistakes in the charter that went to the vote of the people. And they just changed it without bringing it back to a vote of the people. It wasn't, we never had a population change. We never had a population change. So the only way the previous council could have changed the ordinance, could have fixed the charter by ordinance, is if we had a population change. We never had a population change. So this government is operating in a violation of the Louisiana State's Constitution. Underneath the local government section. Part 1, Section 1, Dialogue A and B. Go read it.
Our attorney's looking it up. I will tell you that to go to the vote of the people for those changes with the split of the councils, that all went to the public.
Yeah, the split of the councils went to the public, but you had mistakes in the charter. You had mistakes that the previous council approved by ordinance, and they wasn't supposed to approve it by ordinance without sending it to a vote of the people, because there wasn't a population change. So this government is operating a home rule charter in violation of the Louisiana State Constitution. Go back and read it.
I'll refer to legal on that one, but I understand. Go ahead.
Go back and read it. But anyway, it's time for y'all to give us what we need. It's time for y'all to give us what we asked for. We asked for a mayor, and we asked for an elected chief. It's time for y'all to give us that. It's time for y'all to give us that.
I think
If y'all want to bridge that gap that the chief minority affairs position was supposed to do, bridge that gap between the community and government and the minority, give us our own mayor. Give us our chief. Give us somebody that we can go to, that we can put in place to handle our city. And not allow the parish to have a say in that. The parish shouldn't have a say in that at all. At all. We the only municipality. We the only municipality in this government that the parish has a say in every city affair we do.
So I think you need to get with Councilman Lewis and the city council if you want that police change.
I did.
What they did.
And in order to do it, they still need the parish approval.
Nobody's brought it to my attention. That's what they
In
want
order
to
to
do.
do it, they still need the parish approval.
They got to put it on the joint ordinance.
Nobody brought it to your attention. It been brought to your attention months ago. Months ago when the council decided to scrap it, take it off the agenda.
We never scrapped nothing about a police chief on that.
Go back and research. KATC, KLFY. Go back and research. Go look at those news stories, man.
Okay.
Go look at that. Y'all continue to beat around the bush with us. That's not what we want in government.
First off, nobody brought any
That's
ordinance
not
to
what
the
we want in
council
government.
in regards to the police chief, okay? Nobody brought an ordinance and said
They brought
we want
an
elected.
ordinance. They brought an ordinance in regards to the home rule charter. Period. It's not just the chief of police position. We can change that. We can change the chief of police position. Do that still give us fair government? No, it don't.
Okay.
It don't. It's not just about the chief of police position. It's about our mayor president.
Hey, I got you. Your 5 minutes
It's
is up.
about that
We can
position
talk
too.
about that on the side, and we can get there, okay? But again, when you're referring to this parish council, when in regards to the city police, you need to deal with the city Lafayette council. This parish council does not involve Lafayette PD. We don't put snipers on the
No,
roof.
no,
We
no,
don't do none of that.
No, y'all don't. Y'all don't involve y'all don't involve the PD. Y'all don't have nothing to do with the PD, not the council, but the mayor president do. He's the one that hires the PD. So
you
what
have
I'm
to take
asking,
it up to-
what I'm asking y'all
Sir.
is when the city council.
Your 5 minutes is up.
When the city council decide to put in a
Mayor,
ordinance to change the charter commission,
Paul, do you have any update on that
allow
stuff?
them to do.
I can clarify a lot of it.
Go ahead.
All right, so first of all, with regard to the police chief, that is embedded in the charter that says that there shall be a chief of police appointed by the mayor president, right? It's under section, let me get the right section for you.
Back to the parish council, allowing the city council to bring back the charter commission. Still go back to it. Either way it goes, still go back to it.
If the gentleman will let me finish.
Let him finish.
Section 413 under the charter, as voted on by the people, indicates that a chief of police is an appointed position by the mayor president. So if you want to change that, it requires an amendment to the charter. To amend the charter, that requires both councils, both the parish council and the city council, to submit that proposed amendment to the voters, who then get to vote on whether they want to amend the charter.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, is if your city council wants to add that on a joint meeting and bring it to the voters, to have the voters decide on an elected police chief, and it's a city issue and it's not a parish issue, why would I vote to stop the city to have their elected police chief? So if you want that to happen, you need to get on the 5 city council members to draft that ordinance and bring it to this joint meeting, and then that can happen. And that's what I was getting at. You're barking up this tree, and it's not my jurisdiction. No. It's the city of Lafayette that does that. I'm done talking. I try to talk. We're done. Next. Kyle. Next.
Next speaker.
Next speaker.
Next speaker is
I
Jamal
gave you your answer
Taylor.
and you didn't want to hear it. Next.
Jamal Montgomery. Jamal Montgomery, and followed by Wallace Senegal.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mayor President. Good afternoon, Honorable Council, and good afternoon, good evening to the citizens of Lafayette. My name is Jamar Montgomery, and I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jamar Montgomery, and I'm running for United States Senate. I was also one of the individuals that was there in Park Sansui on Saturday, and I just wanted to express how I felt during that protest. I didn't feel protected. We had a congressional candidate and a U.S. Senate candidate, and I, as a Senate candidate, did not feel protected. And I think that's one of the frustrations that I'm hearing from the people, is that they did not feel protected and did not feel included in our democratic process. A little background on me is I'm a juvenile defense attorney. I'm out of Shreveport. I'm 31 years old. I started college at the age of 10. I started full-time at the age of 14 and graduated with my mechanical engineering degree at the age of 19. I went on to work for the United States Navy as a weapons systems engineer. I was the youngest weapons systems engineer in the United States Navy's history and the Department of Defense's history. Shortly after that, I spent 5 years working for them. Then I went to law school, and while I was in law school, I went and got my MBA. So you're dealing with somebody who's very highly educated and someone that is boots on the ground and connected with the people. And I think that it's very important that our elected officials remember that we need to be connected with the people so that we understand the people's frustrations, we understand their concerns. It is very difficult for us as people who want to be representatives and leaders to not have that connection, because then it becomes a distrust and lack of communication between the people and their representatives. So I just wanted to say that thank you for having me here. I appreciate you. I appreciate the citizens of Lafayette. I'm here standing in solidarity with the people of Lafayette, and thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Wallace Senegal, followed by Clyde Simeon.
Good evening, Council. Thanks for allowing me to come to the podium and speak. I know y'all also have the rights to let those who you want to speak, speak, those who you don't want to speak, not speak. I'm a concerned community activist in the community. It's a lot of things that going down with us as the north side, predominantly black side, but we have all sides on the north side of town. And those are the things that we feel frustrated about. We're not getting equal justice. Like one of the guys say, we go to church on Sunday looking for Jesus, but when we leave the church, we tell them to stay here until I come back next Sunday, you know? And this is not the good thing for us. I agree with what Keith Falk was talking about. Yes, we did have an election to fix the charter, but in fixing the charter, we broke the charter. Some kind of way, as it was going up, we dropped it and broke it. That's not good, because when I say we broke the charter, we took district, especially District 3 and 4, and we redistricted. For what reason? I looked at it as being gerrymandering and segregating a lot of that district. You know, for some reason or another, our prior council, 3 of them, they went at District 3 and 4. I still feel that I'm living in District 3, not District 1. This is why we talking about having our own elected chief. I know if the parish and the city got to be involved in us having an elected chief, the parish might not vote for it. And I hear you, Mr. Narcan.
That's not true.
You say that you wouldn't deny us from having an elected chief. You say that, but if the city only voters, would vote for it, I think the city, because I talk to a lot of people in this town, and everybody seems to say that would be a good thing for the city of Lafayette, to have our own elected chief. And I still say, I thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. But I'm going to still look for us to have an elected chief. And as long as we do that, I think we're going to have a better Lafayette. Because Lafayette is a good place to live. I lived in California for 30 years. Came back home. I left when I was 19. Stayed for 30 years and come back home and been enjoying it the last 24 years. So Lafayette is my home. And I know we have a lot of dissension within races, and it shouldn't be like that. Because if we would learn how to be more collective speaking to each other than trying to deny each other for certain things that we're doing, we would have a better place. Black people have the rights to assemble, just like everybody else have a right to assemble, like they were saying. The Cajun militia, when they carry their guns, everything is okay. Black people carry guns, something is wrong with it. I was listening to the radio. People was calling and say they locked their kids and themselves up in their houses, because they didn't know what was going on. Law enforcement, and I can't call it Clan justice. Thank you.
Next speaker is Clyde Simeon, followed by the final speaker, Kennedy Henry.
I just want to make it clear that the NFAC thing that happened on Saturday, that wasn't a protest. That was a parade route. Whenever we protest, we don't talk to y'all and tell y'all what we about to do. We don't ask for permission. We don't get permits. We don't worry about what's a gun-free zone and what's not a gun-free zone. We do what we're gonna do to get y'all to listen. And I know that maybe the parish doesn't have jurisdiction over whatever, but this is mainly directed toward Josh. But y'all still got positions that y'all got to do y'all's goddamn job. That's just period. And even with the NFAC thing, he came and if it's a protest, right, that's supposed to be from the people. He came and he met with Carlos. Carlos's job is to make a better relationship between the people and the administration. He ain't doing shit. It's not happening.
Sir.
Sir, yeah. What he's done, I won't curse, my bad, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
He's not doing nothing. Can you, and I don't know if you can talk or not, but just by head nod, were you either giving guidelines or suggestions to what his position should entail way before the position was appointed? Nah, a little bit. Do you remember what those were even?
Let him talk and you can respond after.
But I mean, that was a question, so.
Yeah. Well, it's not a question and answer.
All right,
But go ahead.
I got you. All right. So regardless, you don't know what the suggestions are right now. I can tell you that, and they aren't being applied. So one, the position is not doing the job that the position was entailed to do, and so get him out of the position if the position needs to be done, right, and just make the position at least half of what it's supposed to be doing. It's like at less than 25% right now. Also, just my last point, I don't even want to talk this whole time, but one thing I did see from the NFAC demonstration was, and that doesn't change the direction that it's peaceful or not, but there's two ways to do things. The way we've been doing things and the powerful demonstration of all the arms and that nobody's fucking around.
Final speaker, Kennedy Henry. Kennedy Henry? She's coming.
Look, I'm going to say this nicely again. If you can't watch your mouth when you speak, it don't matter if you're white, black, Chinese, Mexican. I asked you nicely not to curse again. Okay, and you chose to curse again. Okay, freedom of speech, there's rules and regulations on profanity and confrontational statements. If you don't like that, sir, there's the door. Okay? We give you an inch and a right to speak, and we ask you not to curse, and you take it a mile long. That's the problem, that we cannot do that. Okay? Stop speaking out of turn with professionalism and good language. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
Good language is a matter of
Okay.
respect.
Final speaker is
Final
Kennedy Henry.
My name's Kennedy Henry. I am new to these meetings, but you guys will see me again. I want to talk about what happened Saturday. So Saturday, it was a beautiful day. I know y'all probably weren't out there, but it was gorgeous. Y'all should have been out there. I was out there with my whole family, like my grandparents, my little brothers. We were all out there having a good time. When the accidental shots went off, I was kind of where everything happened, so I was walking toward my family, and one of the sheriffs in this beautiful city walked up to me, and he asked me if I saw what happened. And I was like, no, but there's someone on the ground. He proceeded to say, oh, he looked like he did it. How Jamal said that, but we fixing the problem? We will continue to march. We will continue to be civilly disobedient. We will continue to be a nuisance to every single one of you until you see what's happening right in front of your eyes.
Kyle.
No justice.
Get him out.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No
Let's go.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Ain't no further work that's done. Now. What do we want? Justice.
I will say this. I don't have a problem with peaceful protesting, but we put rules in school for our children not to talk out of turn when a teacher's talking. This is a room, and as chairman, if you do not respect the room and you do not follow the rules and you continue to curse, profanity, or chant when someone else is speaking, this chairman will make sure that you exit the council room at all times. This is not me being racist. This is not me against Black Lives Matter or not me against them protesting. This is a meeting to conduct business. What happened on Saturday downtown is not the parish council's issue. Things that are going on in the city is not the parish council's issue. If you have a problem with what happened on Saturday with the city police and other stuff, that needs to come to the city council. The other problem that I see is that's where the parish council has open public comment mic, and it's supposed to be related to items not on the agenda and related to the parish. The parish council doesn't approve parades, doesn't approve protesting. None of that comes this way. Again, I apologize if I come across being a little rude and a little frustrated, but it is frustrating when you're trying to conduct a meeting and we ask you not to make derogatory statements or cursing or profanity, and it continues to get abused and it continues to happen. Therefore, that's why I asked Kyle to have those people exit the room. There's rules that children have to follow every day, and until this community start acting like adults and stop acting like children when a meeting is conducted, this meeting will continue to be exited. I cannot deal with that in the sense that please speak your mind, please speak freely, but please speak in a way that you're not cursing and that you're not trying to overrule a meeting. We have business to conduct. So I do apologize for the interruption in the meeting, and it's time that we get back to business. And again, this goes for all walks of life. Please conduct yourself in a professional manner when you walk in this room and you speak to the council, just like we do when we speak to you. Thank you. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Can we now move to resolutions, please? This is a public hearing, and speakers' forum are available for anyone wishing to address the council. The 5-minute rule does apply. Cindy, please read.
Parish Resolution 13-2020, a resolution of the Lafayette Parish Council supporting and requesting that the Lafayette delegation move the courthouse improvements project in the Lafayette Parish Courthouse in Lafayette Parish from a priority 1 status up to a priority 5.
Okay, need a motion and a second to consider. Motion by Councilman Carlson, second by Councilman Tabor. An amendment is proposed to read that the request is to move the project from the lower priority 5 up to the more important priority 1 status. Need a motion and a second to consider the proposed amendment. Motion by Councilman Carlson, second by Councilman Tabor. Any council discussion in regards to this? Okay, not seeing any. Ms. Williams, any public comment?
We did have one citizen who did not wish to speak in support of the resolution.
Okay. All right. Please call the vote on the amendment.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5? Yes. Motion to amend is approved.
Okay. Now please call on the vote from the council to adopt the resolution as amended.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5? District 1? The motion to adopt as amended is approved. Parish Resolution 14, 2020, a resolution of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing a non-warranty cash sale of the property located generally at the 900 block of Benoit Road, identified by the Lafayette Parish Tax Assessor as assessment number 6039746 to an adjoining landowner pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 472202B for the price of the sale's anticipated costs.
Okay, need a motion and a second to consider? Motion by Councilman Gilbo, second by Councilman A.B. Rubin. Any council discussion? Seeing none, any public comment?
No, sir.
Okay, please call the vote.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5? District 1? District 2?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved.
Okay, we'll now move to ordinances for final adoption. This is a public hearing and speaker forms are available for anyone wishing to address the council. The 5-minute rule does apply. Cindy, can you please read?
Parish Ordinance 44, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing revenues in the amount of $364,954 in Federal Emergency Management Agency funds received from the State of Louisiana Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness and appropriating within the Community Development Department.
Okay, need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Tabor, second by Councilman Gilbo. Any council discussion? Okay, not seeing any. Ms. Williams, any public comment? Okay, please call for the vote.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 45, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector of the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 1.625 mils for exempted municipalities.
Okay, need a motion and a second to consider.
I gotta read the whole thing.
Huh?
It's a millage ordinance. You have to read them in full by law.
Be it ordained, the Lafayette Parish Council, that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in the said parish, as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses, and the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Exempted municipalities, 1.625 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
All right, okay. We have a motion and a second. Motion by AB and second by Tabor. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any public comment?
No, sir.
Okay, please call the vote from the council.
District 5? District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
No.
The motion to adopt is approved.
Okay, please read the next one.
Parish Ordinance 46, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 3.25 mils for general alimony. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. General alimony, 3.25 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers for the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority, and according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
I need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Carlson, second by Councilman Tabor. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any public comment?
No, sir.
Okay, please call for the vote.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
No.
District 5?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 47, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 4.47 mils for roads and bridges. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas, based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now, therefore, be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll and all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette, roads and bridges, 4.47 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay, need a motion and a second to consider?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Gilbo, second by Councilman AB. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any comment? Okay, please call for the vote.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
No.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 48, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 3.58 mils for drainage district. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020, and whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, that all All of the above whereas clauses are in the preamble of this ordinance or adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Drainage District, 3.58 mills. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make their collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Need a motion and a second? Motion by Councilman Gilbo, second by Councilman A.B. Rubin. Any council discussions? Seeing none, Ms. Williams, any comment?
No, sir.
Okay, please call the roll.
District 3?
No.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 49, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 2.21 mills for detention and correctional facility. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020, and whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish. And whereas, based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now, therefore, be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Detention and correctional facility, 2.21 mills. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay, it's time we need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Tabor, second by Councilman Rubin. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any comment? Okay, please call the vote.
District 4?
No.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
No.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 50, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 2.51 mills for courthouse complex. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas, based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now, therefore, be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Courthouse Complex, 2.51 mills. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of the Parish of Lafayette for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second to consider? Motion by Councilman AB, second by Councilman Tabor. No council discussion, public comment? Okay, roll them.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
No.
District 4?
No.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 51, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at a 2020 millage rate of 1.25 mils for juvenile detention. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020, and whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the parish of Lafayette. Juvenile detention, 1.25 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers for the parish of Lafayette, state of Louisiana, being they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay, need a motion and a second? Motion by Councilman AB, second by Councilman Tabor. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any comment? Okay, please call the roll.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
No.
District 4?
No.
District 5?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 52, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 1.18 mils for stormwater management. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020, and whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed a 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas, based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the parish of Lafayette. Stormwater management, 1.18 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the parish of Lafayette, state of Louisiana, being they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay, need a motion and a second to consider. Motion by Councilman AB Rubin, second by Councilman Tabor. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any comment? Okay. Okay, please call the roll.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
No.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1? The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 53, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the parish of Lafayette and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 2.00 mils for general obligation bonds. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish. And whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses and the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the parish of Lafayette. General obligation bonds, 2.00 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers for the parish of Lafayette, state of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay, need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman AB, second by Councilman Carlson. Okay, not seeing any public comment. Please call the vote to adopt the ordinance.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 54, 2020. An ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the parish of Lafayette and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 2.91 mils for the Lafayette Parish Library 2017-2026. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish, as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll and on all property subject to taxation by the parish of Lafayette. Lafayette Parish Library, 2017-2026, 2.91 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers for the parish of Lafayette, state of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay, need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Carlson, second by Councilman A.B. Rubin. Okay, not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any public comment?
One citizen who did not wish to speak signed in opposition to the ordinance.
Okay. All right. Please call the vote.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2? District 2?
No.
District 3?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 55, 2020. An ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 1.84 mils for the Lafayette Parish Library, 2013-2022. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish, and whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Lafayette Parish Library, 2013-2022, 1.84 mills. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as hereinabove set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Need a motion and a second to consider? Motion by Councilman Carlson, second by Councilman A.B. Rubin. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any public comment?
We did have one citizen who signed in, did not wish to speak in opposition to the ordinance.
Okay, please call the vote.
District 5,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
No.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 56-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 2.21 mills for the combined public health. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette, is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020, and whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish. Whereas, based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now, therefore, be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Combined public health, 2.21 mills. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as hereinabove set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Need a motion and a second to consider? Motion by Councilman A.B. Rubin, second by Councilman Carlson. Any council discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Williams, any comment?
We did have one citizen who signed in, did not wish to speak in opposition to the ordinance.
All right, please call the roll.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
No.
District 5.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 57-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 0.25 mills for cultural economy. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette, and and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish. And whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses in the preamble of this ordinance are hereby or adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Cultural economy, 0.25 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as hereinabove set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay. Need a motion and a second to consider. Motion by Councilman Carlson, second by Councilman A.B. Rubin. No council discussion. Ms. Williams, any comment?
We did have one citizen who did not wish to speak, who signed in opposition to the ordinance, and one citizen who did not wish to speak in support of the ordinance.
Okay. Please call the vote from the council.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 58, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council setting forth and designating the ad valorem tax millage rates and imposing taxes on all property subject to ad valorem taxation in the Parish of Lafayette, and authorizing the assessor and tax collector for the Parish of Lafayette to assess and collect property taxes at the 2020 millage rate of 1.71 mils for the Lafayette Regional Airport. Be it ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that whereas the Lafayette Parish Council is the governing and taxing authority of the Parish of Lafayette and is empowered by law to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on all property subject to taxation in said parish as shown by the assessment roll for the year 2020. And whereas the Lafayette Parish Assessor has completed the 2020 reassessment of taxable properties in Lafayette Parish. And whereas based on the outcome of the reassessment, there are decreases in net taxable values in Lafayette Parish. Now therefore be it further ordained by the Lafayette Parish Council that Section 1, all of the above whereas clauses are in the preamble of this ordinance are hereby or adopted as part of this ordinance. Section 2, that the following millage rates are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Parish of Lafayette. Lafayette Regional Airport, 1.71 mils. Section 3, the proper administrative officers of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as hereinabove set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Okay. Need a motion and a second to consider. Motion by Councilman Carlson. Second by Councilman Gilbo. No council discussion. Ms. Williams, any comment?
We did have one citizen who did not wish to speak in opposition to the ordinance, and one citizen who did not wish to speak in support of the ordinance.
Okay. Go ahead, please call the roll.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1?
No.
District 2? District 2?
Yeah.
The motion to adopt is approved.
Okay, we're going to now move to announcements.
I just want to commend Cindy for reading all of those ordinances and reading them so well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job. Thank you. You can get some water now. Oh, no, you got to read a little. We got to read a little more. We got to read a little more. I was going to try to give you a break, Go ahead, take a sip. Announcements of vacancies on boards and commissions, and I would like to ask Cindy to read again. Thank you.
A vacancy exists in the Lafayette Waterworks District South Board as of November 1st, 2020. This is a one-year term. Applicants must be District residents. A vacancy exists on the Lafayette Convention and Visitors Commission for the remainder of an unexpired four-year term through December 31st, 2022. Applicants must be a minority as defined by Louisiana Revised Statute 382233.2. Individuals wishing to submit a resume for the above volunteer vacancies must be a registered voter and a resident of Lafayette Parish. Yearly ethics training for all appointees is required as its financial disclosure under certain circumstances. Resumes are to be forwarded to Veronica L. Williams, Clerk of the Council, P.O. Box 4017-C, Lafayette, Louisiana 70502, or email to bclafayette@lafayettela.gov no later than noon Tuesday, October 20th, 2020, with appointments to be made at the November 4th, 2020 regular meeting of the Lafayette Parish Council. Resume submissions are public record.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll now move to consider appointments by the council as a whole to boards and commissions. Cindy, please read.
Appointment to the Lafayette Waterworks District South Board for a 5-year term effective November 1st, 2020.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to announce that the resume received for consideration is from Dave Young. Dave Young is the incumbent. Not seeing any council discussion. Ms. Williams, any comment?
No, sir.
All right, please call for the vote.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1? District 1? Yes. District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
Dave Young is appointed.
Okay, we're going to move right along to appointments by council members, mayor, president, and/or any other direct appointing authority. Cindy, please read.
Brian Tabor, District 1, appointed Frank Wittenberg to the Lafayette Recreation Advisory Commission for a 14-month term effective September 14th, 2020.
Okay, we're going to now move to introductory ordinances and remind everyone that item 32 has been pulled for a separate vote and discussion. Need a motion and a second from the council to introduce ordinances items 27 through 31 and 33 in global.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Gilbo, second by Councilman Tabor. Okay, Cindy, please read.
Parish Ordinance 59-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating and capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing the use of prior year fund balance in the Courthouse Complex Fund in the amount of $300,000 and appropriating within the Public Works Department for additional funding needed for parish courthouse asbestos abatement. Parish Ordinance 60-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the mayor president to enter into intergovernmental agreement between the Parish of Lafayette and the City of Scott relative to operation and maintenance of Scott Park. Parish Ordinance 61-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the mayor president to enter into an intergovernmental agreement between the Parish of Lafayette and the City of Carencro relative to operation, maintenance, and capital improvement of Carencro Park. Parish Ordinance 62-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the mayor president to enter into an intergovernmental agreement between the Parish of Lafayette and the Town of Doosan relative to operation, maintenance, and capital improvement of Doosan Park. Parish Ordinance 63-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the mayor president to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between the Parish of Lafayette and the Southwest Athletics Incorporated relative to operation, maintenance, and capital improvement of Judy's Park. Parish Ordinance 67-2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council declaring and the Parish of Lafayette's intention to acquire full ownership of that adjudicated property located in the 400 block of East Music Road, comprising all or portions of sections 94, 95, 108, 109, and 110, Township 8, South Range 4 East, within Parish of Lafayette.
All right, any comments from the public concerning the above introductory ordinances?
Yes, sir. We do have one speaker, Jacques Miller. He wants to speak with reference to the park items 28 through 31.
Good.
Yeah. They'll speak. Okay, those. For the past few months, as Mr. Nakam would say, we've been beating y'all up about the parks and whatnot, and as the mayor said, y'all did find creative methods to move the parish parks to the cities, and I'm sure the cities will be happy to take ownership of of their parks, because I was raised in unincorporated Broussard, and honestly, until I started following politics, I did not know that Arsenal Park was controlled by the Lafayette Parish government, so I'm sure the city will be happy to get their parks back, and I'm gonna give y'all credit for finding the creative vehicles to move the parks over.
Thank you, Bo. Okay. All right. At this time, we'll go ahead and I don't see any council discussion, so we'll go ahead and call for the vote in global. Items 27 through 31 and 33.
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
The motion to introduce is approved.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll move on to item 32 that has been pulled for separate.
Ordinance 64, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government to provide for adjustments of revenue and appropriation estimates.
All right, need a motion and a second to consider. Motion by Councilman Carlson, second by Councilman AB. Okay. Okay, we want to remind everyone that the finance requested an amendment to include adjusted budget tables to add $150,000 in order to pay for the additional invoices for the housing of juveniles out of the parish for the remainder of the year. Do we have a motion and a second to consider the amendment?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Gilbo, second by Councilman Carlson. Council discussion on the amendment. I have a quick question. I don't know if somebody's here. Where's the $150,000 coming from?
I'm sorry, I was reading something else. Are we talking about?
It's been a long night, so yes, we are talking about item 32.
The $150,000 for the juvenile detention is coming from the money dedicated for juvenile detention's fund balance.
Okay, so it's not coming out of the general fund, it's coming
No.
out of their balance.
No, sir. They have the fund balance to cover the difference, and we may end up changing that for final adoption, increasing it, because there were some additional kids that were put in a center outside of the parish.
Because we were full, or because of the COVID restraints on how many people could be in?
I can't answer to the exact circumstances as to why they're not here.
Okay. Got you. If you're going to talk, I can turn your mic on.
She's feeding me the answers.
Go ahead.
It's more about the level of security that we need to be aware of with particular juveniles and the crimes with which they are charged.
Okay.
Sometimes we need to send them to another facility for security purposes.
More security, okay.
Yes.
I appreciate it. That's one of those things that, we're working on as a parish council. I think we have something coming hopefully in November or, I think the second or third week in November in regards to how to try to save some money with some of that stuff, because if we got to send our own local juveniles to another parish, it costs us money. And same thing with the people that get arrested, if it's out of parish or we're full in the jail and we got to send them out of parish, it costs us money. So I totally understand. So I'm just happy that we had some fund balance in there to cover it. So, all right, that's the only discussion I had. So as chair, I'll go ahead and move this meeting forward. So at this time, Ms. Williams, any public comment on the amendment?
No, sir.
Okay. Call for the vote on the amendment, please.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
The motion to amend is approved.
Okay. And now we'll go ahead and, Ms. Williams, any comment on the ordinance as amended?
No, sir.
Okay. Please call the vote for introduce the ordinance as amended.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 1? The motion to adopt as amended is approved.
Okay. Adjourn the regular parish council meeting and